Hello, my name is Omar and I would like to speak about this simple circuit. Later we'll talk about more advanced circuits of this type. In any way, this circuit is supposed to turn the light on based on the motion detected by the motion sensor, and the signal is sent to the relay. In the demonstration video will come in a minute. You'll hear the click of the relay, but there is not connected to anywhere, just for demonstration. And when we measure the voltage of the output signal, the yellow line of the motion sensor, we get about 2.6 volt, which is sufficient to drive the relay. Right now, this is applied for areas where people walk and don't stay all the time, like walkway, like aisles, and like cross area between different rooms, or even in the bathroom, stairways, and entrance of the house. Sometimes the light switch is located in awkward place, and it can be hazardous sometimes to find the light switch in the dark. And regardless of the location of the light switch, it is more convenient to have this light come on based on motion and based on the level of the light in these areas. Right now, let's first look at the demonstration, and as I said, you can listen to the relay clicking and the LED light coming on. Let's go to the demonstration. Okay, now let's see the demo of the this arrangement of turning the light on when it is dark using the motion sensor and photo resistor. Now we can see the relay to the bottom and to the left the motion sensor. For the arrangement of the wires, it's better to look at the schematic. It's a little confusing here. We have the LED and the transistor on the board. Okay, let me put my hand now in front of the motion sensor. I adjusted the motion sensor timer to stay on for a very short time, just in order not to wait for too long, but you can adjust it up to a few minutes, which is enough for somebody to walk across a aisle or cross area between rooms. I think I can get it up to 3 minutes or even a little longer. Okay, now I put my hand in front of the motion sensor and it came on and off again. Let's try one more time. Okay, it came on and off again. And let me turn the light on now. Okay, now I turn the light on and I can put my hand or do any movement in front of the motion sensor, nothing happening. So to adjust the threshold of the light, I used 2 photoresistors and 2 resistors in parallel. The 2 resistors about 1.7 kilo ohm, and you can experiment with this to see which threshold you are looking for. But again, the arrangement is very simple. and once you put it in a enclosure and in the components are really, the big ones are the relay and the motion sensor. The remaining items are very small, and that's it. Thank you. Now, as I explained, this is the most basic arrangement for doing the function we are talking about, which is turning the light on based on motion. Now, if we add another load on this yellow signal or the output of the motion sensor, the motion sensor will not be able to apply or to supply the sufficient current and the voltage required to operate the relay. For example, if we look here, let me move this out of the way. Okay. Now, if we look here, it is basically the same circuit with LED and a resistor with a pull-down resistor, and the motion sensor, the yellow line, is supplying two loads in this case. One load is the relay, and the second load is the LED. And now we can see that the voltage become 1.9. It was 2.6 in the first arrangement. Therefore, this 1.9 volt will not be able to energize the relay. So this circuit basically does not work, and we need a transistor to overcome this issue. Okay, let's look at the arrangement where we have a transistor, as you can see. Now the motion sensor is not driving the load directly, but it is supplying current to the base of the transistor. You can see the yellow line coming from the motion sensor to the base of the transistor, and the collector of the transistor is getting its current from the source, positive side of the source, and the emitter of the transistor is driving two loads, the relay and the LED, and this arrangement have a resistor, photoresistor, but let's finish first the basic setup. So we have the motion sensor and the relay getting their power from 5 volt DC. You can have the same source or you can have separate source, but usually they are packaged very close and they will have the same source. But if they have different source, they have to have a common ground, as you know. Anyway, when we look at this circuit, we see this photoresistor or light sensitive resistor, and it is connected to two pads in the motion sensor, as we can see in here. So when we look from the opposite side of the dome of the motion sensor, we will find these two pads, and these two pads will be connected to the light sensitive resistor. We can connect directly, but then it will be a little difficult to place the light sensitive resistor in the right location. I tried to solder this header with two pins, two male pins. It's a little difficult. If you can do it, it's better, and if there is somebody can help you to heat the pads from this side, and install it from push it from the other side, it will be easy. But it was because it's very, very tiny area, and the iron tip very difficult to keep on this area while trying to push from the other side. If I push from the other side, I lose sight to where the iron tip is, even if I put it on a clamp. Anyway, I found it easier to use male jumper wires, as we can see here. As we can see here, we have the white and the yellow lines connected to the photo sensitive resistor. These three are positive, negative, and the one in the middle is the signal going to the base of the transistor. But anyway, these three are clear. If not, you should familiar yourself with the motion sensor pin out. So we come back to this. As I said, this is a male jumper wire was pushed into the pad. I heat from this side and push from this side, and the sensor was held by a clamp. So it is very, very simple, and it's very reliable and strong connection. Same with the white wire, of course. So in this situation, the operation or the function of the circuit will be a little different than the previous one. That is, if the light condition is sufficient, the motion sensor will not trigger, and therefore will not feed the base and will not feed the relay, and the light will not come on, which is supposed to be a more practical case. But if the light condition in the area we are trying to automate is low, then the signal will go to the base and the relay will be triggered. It's a very simple circuit, and as we seen in the video demonstration, the connections of the light sensitive resistor. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. Thank you.